Hello, we're friends, James Videos, and today I am doing a review on the Spirit Halloween 2022 Deadly Creeper Animatronic. Now this is one I really wanted to get this season, but I started to not want it. But then the Employee Appreciation Day was today, which is 40% off, and so I decided to get it because that was only $128 for this thing, which is originally $200. I think this is a very, very underrated animatronic this season. Not very many people are that into it, which I can kind of get because it's just a big spider. But personally, I really just love spiders. And yeah, if it was a small spider or so, it wouldn't be as impressive. But the fact it's big and it's a spider makes me really like it because it might be the best spider animatronic we've seen. Really, really cool. I'm excited to get into it. And it doesn't have much of a setup, I don't think. So it can either stand or hang, which is a really cool thing. It's got a string there to hang it. Like I said, it's $199.99. I'll get into my thoughts on the price a little bit later on. It's got a pretty cool story, actually, about like some Arctic scientists or whatever found this prehistoric spider. The stories don't matter. They never do. Simply, the stories don't matter, they never do, simply because of the fact that it has nothing to do with the animatronic. But when they're cool, I give them props for it, because a lot of times the stories are garbage. So I give them props for a good story on this one. I don't think, like I was just saying, I don't think this has much of a setup. I think you just take it out and you like pose the legs and stuff, which I'm hoping is going to be simple. But this is a massive animatronic, which is why it's so cool. It's kind of heavy, which I would assume because it's huge. That's a huge body. That is enormous. Wow. That's all one piece there. And then you've got some stuff. This came off, so that's unfortunate. This bottom part came unglued, but I mean, that's not a big deal. You can just glue that back. It doesn't really matter too much. Wow, it's big. So there's one piece, and that's A. The instructions when they label the pieces, A and B, the spider and the adapter. Excellent. There's literally no instructions. Oh wait, no there are. You can open it. Okay. The instructions literally just tell you to unfold it and then it shows you how to plug it in. There's nothing to this setup. Like literally nothing, which is great. That's awesome. This animatronic is absolutely massive and it's insane. Now, what I did was I decided to hang it just for the sake of this video because getting the legs posed takes a lot of work because of how hard they are to bend, and it's very difficult to get them to stay in a position where he'll stand. So I thought for the sake of this video I'd just hang him because also there's not very much room in here that I'd be able to shoot a good video of him with. I think he looks great hanging. He looks great both ways, but this is also an easier way to really just show off the whole thing to you. This thing is so huge, I can't even fit it in the frame, and I'm pretty far back from it. Like, it is massive. But I love it. It's so cool, and that's what makes it so cool. It's one of the biggest spiders I have ever seen. The Home Depot one I think is a little bit bigger, but this one's also cheaper than the Home Depot one, especially with discounts and coupons and stuff. And this one's also an animatronic. Now, it only has one animation, well technically two, and the palps move, but I think you're buying this thing for the size, really. I think the face looks pretty cool too. I'm glad it doesn't have just two eyes. I'm glad it actually has multiple sets of eyes. That's good. And it looks so cool. I feel like it's one of those things that really is gonna like shock a lot of people wherever you put it, and something a lot of people will probably want to take pictures with, videos of, all sorts of stuff. It's a good eye catcher. I could see it going on a roof or whatever, giant spider web. This thing is so massive, and that's the selling point of it. That's what makes it so cool. It's also really good quality because these legs are very, very hard to move because they're very sturdy. They are meant to support the body weight. Like I said, it's just a lot of work getting it to actually do it, and so I did it like this for this video. But when you actually do it, they're very sturdy legs, which is a great thing. The body is metal framework covered with that fabric, and I cannot see anything happening to it. It's pretty secure. Another thing is, because the body is like in this frame, I think, other than the fur would be the main concern, but other than that, it probably wouldn't fare too bad outside, other than when it rains, because I can't really see the motor getting too wet or anything, or ruined or anything in the weather because of how it's tucked up under the body like that. I mean, it could, but I think they kind of did that on purpose because they know that people likely would use this outside, because I don't know where else you'd put it with how big it is. I can definitely not keep it where I have it right now. This is just for video purposes. It's massive, it's cool, very underrated, and it has a very basic but I guess effective animation and pretty cool audio too, which I'm going to show you right now. Alright, so you saw there he has a basic animation with cool audio and everything. Basic animation, but still pretty cool animatronic. Now, I do have an issue, which I am going to have to deduct points on this animatronic and kind of give you a word of warning for it. I'm going to have to buy a new one, because as you could probably tell, I dubbed in the audio in that last portion. Reason for it is because the speaker is already blown. There's a little bit of sound, but not much. I don't know how that happened. I don't know how a speaker blows without even being used, unless this was a returned one, which is very possible considering the fact that the glue was off of the bottom part. I'm gonna have to exchange it, which is fine because there's so many more at my location, and so I'm not worried about it. But that's something to keep in mind. Clearly, there's something wrong with the speaker. Animation works fine. Maybe just watch out for that. I don't know if it's just mine, because that's a very odd and specific problem to have, which makes me believe this model was returned. It's very weird. But with that out of the way, with my issue with it out of the way, it is a really cool animatronic. I can't wait to get a fully working one, but as you can see, it is really cool. Still going to upload the video of this one, because other than the sound, you can see what it does, and I'm going to add the sound in. Not a big deal. Really cool audio, really cool animatronic. I really enjoy it, and I really recommend it to anyone who wants something that's a real cool eye catcher like this, like a giant spider. He's really cool, and yeah, I'd recommend him. Though I do think he is overpriced. He should be like $150, because though he is massive, he is, you know, he's just he doesn't have any like super intricate sculpting or design put into him. He doesn't have a whole ton of animation. I think 200's pushing it a little bit. I think 150-ish would be better. But with discounts, coupons, all of that stuff, you can get him down to a price that I think is fair, and that's why I was willing to pay it for this guy, because with the discount, I could not see any problem with that price at all. So if you really want him, you can definitely get him for a cheaper price. I hope you all enjoyed this review. Keep howling the moon, my werewolves.